Hello everyone and welcome to Focus on Revere. I'm Sergio Leone and sitting with me here today is Julie DeMauro and Sean Mallett from Millions of Muscles to tell us about their citywide fitness challenge. Welcome Julie and Sean.
How you doing?
Hi.
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Very well.
Good. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. Typically, Ed is usually the host. I'll be filling in for him today. However, if people have been watching at home, we've been doing, the Focus on Revere has been focusing on the Citywide Challenge, sponsored by the mayor. And it's been going on for a couple of weeks now. If I'm not mistaken, it started in April 26th with the weigh-ins.
Correct.
And those turned out pretty well. You guys got a lot of reaction and engagement from the city. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the weigh-ins went really well. We did 3 days, so we were there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of that weekend. We went really well. I think we had over 280 people weigh in. And then now, once the weigh-in goes on, obviously you do the 6 weeks of the challenges and the fitness classes. Then you come back and you weigh in again, kind of track your progress. That's what we really want to focus on is what progress you're making. And then so what happens is we also have people can still, besides, hey, if you didn't make that weekend, you can still register at any time. Just come to any event, just find the schedule, and then go on and participate.
Right. And how did this program actually get started? How did it come about?
Well, I think last spring of 2012, we were asked to meet with the mayor, and he was looking to do something community-wide that focused on health. And I'm a task force member of Revere on the Move, and I had some ideas, and I had worked with Sean and Jody, and we all came together, and we came up with the Citywide Fitness Challenge. And what we thought was that we would do something that parents and children could do together, because we find that one of the biggest obstacles for people to get out there and do fitness activities is because there's nobody to watch their kids. So that's how the program really got started. And it was very successful last year, so this year we will do it again, and we're also adding a 5K run and walk for the finale challenge, so we're very excited about that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, ultimately, when we met last year, we didn't want to make it, a lot of times what parents will want to drop off the kids. We really wanted to bring them together, even if they didn't necessarily do this, like might have an adult boot camp and a children's boot camp per se. We wanted them to be getting fit together. We didn't want it to be a drop-off center, and that's really been great, because it's happened where a lot the kids and the parents will do the adult boot camp, have a lot of fun and work hard, while their kids are being active, you know, and so.
It's a great way to have a bonding experience, as well as still good habits, you know, in your children at an early age as well.
And yes, and there was a lot of classes, like we had dance classes, we had tumbling, and you know, there was a lot of parents taking advantage of those, because for some parents, I think the thought of a boot camp class might have been too intimidating. But the dance class, dancing with their child, there was something that they probably already do at home, but you know, they were doing it more regularly once a week.
Why don't you go ahead and actually tell us a little bit more about the types of activities that are going on? So
we have the fitness challenge. We have yoga, we have Zumba, we have urban trail walks in the West Revere area, stadium walks. We have some strength conditioning fitness classes, boot camp.
We also have kickboxing with both Boston Fight Center and Revere Karate, and we have the beach walks. Or run, you know, it's solely up to all fitness levels. So if you can walk it, if you have to walk, that's fine. And if you want to run, do both. And
that's something that you guys want to emphasize, that there are lots of different types of activities with different intensity levels, so no matter where you are, you know, it's just a matter of just kind of getting involved and engaged.
Any of the activities, all fitness levels are welcome for any of the activities, even if it's as hard as boot camp or the strength class, it doesn't matter. Anybody can do it. We can modify exercises if we have to. We just want everyone to feel welcome and get engaged. That's ultimately what it's about.
And you want, ultimately, I think one of the biggest things about somebody deciding to make the decision to better themselves and to start working out is to finding something that they like and that they can stick with. And this is a great opportunity. For 6 weeks for free, you get to try many different things more than once, and figure out if it's something that you're going to want to stay with, or if this is the exercise for you. And I think it's wonderful.
In a way, it's almost like a fitness activity buffet, where you kind of try out all these little things, and then hopefully within that you find what you like and you stick with it.
That's ultimately one of the main components of staying with fitness and getting healthy is doing something you really enjoy.
Right.
And hopefully you might have a couple friends along the way that do it with you.
Right.
Really help you stick with it. But you're not going to stick with something if you don't like it.
Right, right. Plus, the variation also is good for you as well as kind of not letting your body kind of get used to that one exercise and just kind of bringing in the variance and pushing yourself. Now, there is a schedule of events actually posted on reveretv.org, but also they could visit your website as well to find out what the dates are.
They can go
for the
on
events.
the Facebook, so facebook.com/Revere's Citywide Fitness Challenge.
Okay.
And that also, besides, all you have to do is go on there, like the page. You can look in the documents. You'll find the schedule. It's on there. But also ask questions if you have any questions about nutrition, or hey, what was the Zumba class like, or how was the yoga class on Monday night? Any questions you might have about it, go on there and ask. Obviously, once this challenge is over, we'd love to keep that as a page that the city can go to and ask questions and get answers that they need.
And on Facebook too, I have a lot of friends that are doing the fitness challenge, and they'll post what they've done, and then you'll see people responding to them, and a lot of that stuff will get shared. So that's another great way to just put it out there. And when you see the people that are posting, you'll realize that it really is open to anyone at all fitness levels. So.
And you see a lot of happy faces. People just sweating, but they have the biggest smile on their face. After they get done with their activities.
Yeah, I think a lot of times before we go, we're tired. We always, oh man, I just got home from work. I don't want to go. But then once you did go, you made that commitment, and then after those 45 minutes or hour, you feel great. You're like, oh, why was I not thinking about coming? And that's it. Really, a lot of it is just getting there. Because all these activities, it's pretty much the instructor's going to tell you what to do. So all you have to do is show up.
And the activities are actually sparsed out throughout the day. There are morning events, afternoon events, and then evening events as well.
Yes. So I believe right now there's only a couple of morning events, but most of the events are at night. There's morning events on Wednesdays, Saturday, and Sunday morning, and then the rest are at nighttime. But they're at reasonable times, 6 and 7, I believe.
Yeah, most of the night classes are around between 6 and 7, so 6:30. I know Zumba is the only one that's late, so it's like 7:45. But I know on there's been 3 Wednesdays there's a yoga class. I think it's 10 o'clock in the morning. That's only offered 3 times, but it's there. Obviously, 10 o'clock is not the greatest time, but this year we did have a lot more night classes. But
that's good. I'm assuming you guys actually kind of schedule according to kind of what type of feedback you're getting from the crowd as well.
Right. I mean, for example, I host the urban trail walks in West Revere, and I'm somebody who works out in the morning. I get up very early and I work out. That's my time. I have a very busy household. Night times don't work for me, but the morning time working out in the morning has been part of my life now for the last 18 years.
Wow.
So it's finding the time for you, and the majority of people, nighttime, that's when it is. When they get the kids settled, and the husband knows that that's where they're going to go, and out the door they go. So it's really about finding the right time for you. And it is difficult to coordinate it so that everybody has the chance to go, but there are so many different options to try out, and it is for 6 weeks for free. So at some point they should be able to hit one of those classes at night.
Right. And again, like you said, it really is kind of about finding what works for you, what event you like, and then finding a time that works for you. I know everyone's different. I know for myself, I tend to do some of my workout at night, just because I wake up early. I tend to do some creative work in the morning, and then I come to work, and then then I finally have some time to myself to kind of just waste whatever gas I have left in the tank, if anything. But it's just a matter of finding when and how to do it.
Yeah, and some of the classes, obviously, some of the fitness businesses had to dictate, when they were available to, teach the classes too. So it wasn't necessarily about the feedback from everyone. I think we would all love to have a few morning classes and a few night classes, but that's the way it worked out. But again, there's still 6 weeks. So hey, maybe the first 2 weeks don't work for you, but the last 4 do. So find the time, and like Julie said, there's 6 weeks. At some point, you should be able to get to a few of the classes.
Get out there and get engaged.
Exactly.
That's the secret.
Meet your neighbors.
Right.
There's
there's people from all over Revere coming to the event, and I've heard nothing but good things. People are embracing it, which is is great. I know you mentioned a little bit about kind of the mini muscles, which is kind of more designed for the kids. Can you just elaborate a little bit more about that?
Mini Muscles takes place at Harry de Russo, along with the Millions of Muscles boot camp. that goes along there as well. That's Wednesdays at 6:30, and it's like a kids conditioning. So every week they come down, it'll be a little bit different. They'll play games, they'll do some push-ups, sit-ups. We'll teach them some basic exercises, and it's been going really well. We've probably had about 10 to 15 kids every Wednesday. Also, we have the tumbling from Studio Dance Complex is there as well. So a lot of some of the smaller girls or boys will do that as well, and they have a lot of fun. And I know Nikki from the Studio Dance Complex has said it's been better than last year. Said more people doing it, so she's really enjoyed it as well. So it's gone really well. Both all three of those events at the stadium on Wednesdays is nice. So if anyone hasn't been there yet, come on down.
Right, exactly. Now, the program lasts 6 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
You guys are actually going to be wrapping this all up on June 8th with a big event, an activity day, that also includes a 5K run and also kind of activities for the families. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So the final event, last year our final event was a celebration of the winners at the Rumney Marsh Academy gym, and it really wasn't as well attended as we had hoped. So there was a lot of talk about how do we make the final event better. At the same time, there was talk about doing something like a road race in the city. There was, in years past, there was about 2 or 3 different road races that had become traditions, and they've died out. So that was something that we thought, well, how can we kind of tie this all in together? So the final event on June 8th will begin at 9 o'clock at the West Revere School Complex, and we will have the start of the Revere 5K run walk for fitness, and then at 9:30 we'll have a health fair where we're going to have a lot of different health vendors there. We're going to have play work there. They'll be doing fitness activities for the kids, all the kids. We're also going to have fun runs for kids in grades 1 through 8. There'll be prizes given away for first, second, and third prize. And it's really going to be a fun family event.
It sounds like it.
It's going to be a great time. We're very excited about it, and we're looking forward to it.
Good. And that's June 8th, and
That's
the activity
June 8th.
starts at 9.
At
correct?
9, yeah.
And it's the Whalen School?
Yep,
Correct.
the Whalen School Complex.
Perfect. Wonderful. Now, I know there's kind of been going somewhat in the back scenes, kind of a little bit of a competition. You guys are kind of putting a little bit of competition just kind of to keep people motivated and engaged. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about that?
So this year, last year we had, I think, 1 overall winner. And this year the difference is we're going to have 3 winners. So we're going to have a winner for overall weight loss, a winner for whoever loses the most body fat percentage, and then also someone who loses the most inches. We took measurements when we did the weigh-ins around your waist. So we'll have 3 winners. So this is exciting. Also at the finale, we're going to give out prizes for. So let's say if you had yoga and the same person, you noticed one lady who would come all the time and she did her best. You're might give out gift certificates for things like that. So all the different classes will be giving away gift certificates to like one of their special clients that they had throughout the 6 weeks.
Great. Now you mentioned there a little bit of lingo, kind of fitness. The overall body fat. Can you describe kind of what that is and how people can measure that at home and find out things like that?
Measuring at home could be tough.
Could be a little bit tough. Right, because it's not like you get on a scale and that tells you what your weight is of your entire body, but there's different types of kind of how to measure your weights.
Yeah, so body fat, total body fat percentage is like total of your weight. So basically, let's say if you had to lose 40 pounds, what you would want to do is you want to lose body fat in inches. If you want to, don't get so caught up with the scale.
Right, on the scale.
That is something that's very, a lot of people do, oh my God, I just gained a pound. A lot of times if you're losing body fat, you could be building muscle. So you're not going to lose weight per se, but your clothes are going to fit better. You're losing inches in body fat because sometimes people who are 30 pounds overweight might have 40% body fat, 35% body fat. That's very high. We've seen people, whether it's in the challenge or in our business, have 50% body fat, and it's that's very alarming. So definitely. Really worry. But obviously, what we use at our for body fat, it's a monitor. It's like a machine. You reach out and you hold it, and it takes your body fat that way. It's not the most absolute accurate, but it's very close. So we take your age, we take your heights, we take a few things, if you're female or male, and you put it in. So what's going to happen is at the beginning of the challenge, you might say you were 31.0 body fat percentage, and then we do it again at the end of the 6 weeks, and it might say 28.5. So you lost like 2.5% body fat, which is very good in 6 weeks if that's possible. I would say the average will probably be between 1 and 2. That's still very good. But those are very important.
Right. And part of the key is knowing what a healthy weight is for you and your body size,
Absolutely.
the type of body you
Absolutely.
have. I know with scales, they just weigh your overall body. You might have a lot of muscle mass on you,
Correct.
and
Right.
that you might think you are overweight, but it's actually because you have more muscle than other people, or
Right.
vice versa.
And,
Yeah.
and I think it's very important, I think especially for women, I think that women can be tough on themselves, and I mean, we're shaped differently, we're all different, and, you know, to be a slave to the scale is really a disservice to yourself.
Right,
And I think, like Sean said, you know, it depends on the inches. How do the clothes fit? How do you feel as a
Yes.
person? Do you feel confident?
Right.
You know, and sometimes those things really pay more confidence back to you than
Right.
what the scale is saying. So it's
Right.
very important to listen to yourself and look inward to see how you're feeling.
Right.
And if you're working out, and a lot of times we'll see people in the challenge. Oh, I didn't lose any weight. And it's really, don't beat yourself up. If you're working out and you're doing these things 3 or 4 times a week, and maybe you can try to a lot of it's nutrition. I know we talked a little bit about that. A lot of it is just making at the beginning of these, whether it's the 6-week challenge or whenever you start, it's just trying different healthier options.
Right.
And don't try to do it all at once.
Right.
And don't
Right.
do diets don't work.
It's not a marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a
Right.
marathon.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's more. I mean, in
Oh,
other
it
words,
is
no. In other words, you really just take
I'm wrong.
take it week by week or day by
Right.
day. It's
Right.
if you do slip up and you have a
Right.
cookie or you have ice cream,
Right.
not a big deal.
But it's a matter of making those little
Yes.
improvements day by day. Your biggest competitor is yourself. You just want to be a little bit better every day, pushing yourself,
Yeah.
staying engaged, and just kind of making the healthy changes that you need
Yes.
to make.
And I think that, you know, making that decision to say, okay, I've had enough, I want to better myself, and I want to get healthier, I mean, that comes from within. And I think
Right.
when you're ready to make that change,
That's
you will stick with the program. You
Yes.
will start to watch what's on the diet, what you're eating, where the food is coming from. I mean, we talk a lot about diet. There's a lot of things, products in the supermarket that are low fat, low salt.
Right.
But, you know, if you really want to improve your diet and your health overall, I mean, you really need to go back to the kitchen and start making things from scratch.
Right.
Taking advantage of vegetables and fruits that are in season, you know, really looking at good cooked, home-cooked meals. And I know that's hard sometimes, but, and sometimes you need to prep it, you know, on the weekends. You take it with you for the week. But,
That's right.
you know, those are all things that, in the long run, will pay off
Yes.
in terms of, you know, gains in your health
Right.
and keeping the weight off over time.
You got to think. I mean, preparation is huge.
Huge.
Right.
Very. If you have to
Right.
pick one, whether it's a Wednesday or a Saturday or something, whatever day you can take to go to the grocery store and then get home and
Right.
prepare your food for, even if it's the next
The
5
next
days.
2-3 days,
yeah,
right? A
whatever
couple of
it may be,
days,
it
but you
is.
know it's healthy and it's set.
Because a lot of times people don't realize, and they all like, you know, with a lot of these programs, oh, when is the class? When's the class? A lot of people get focused on the class when in reality, you only do those classes at the most. If you do a class every day of the week,
Right.
it's 7 hours out of the week.
Right.
You know how many times, how many opportunities you have to eat bad or eat?
Right.
Right.
You have to eat, say, 4 or 5 times a day.
Right.
So that's where the focus,
Right.
should start. You know, with the correct food choices.
Right,
Or
the
do the
nutrition
best you
and-
can, but yeah, working out's going to help. But the nutrition is key. Preparation.
And also, you know, don't mind me kind of plugging this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But also becoming aware, also kind of your emotional health as well. Sometimes I think people tend to get maybe nervous or anxious, and they start binge eating, and they're eating the wrong foods in lots of quantity to subdue that emotion or the anxiety that they have. So that also plays a role.
And
Yes.
I had this conversation with somebody the other day. We were talking about, you know, just being mindful of when you eat. Like, for example, if you go to a party, you know, don't start eating everything that's there. Take a look at what's on being presented. If there's something there that's your absolute favorite,
Right.
well, then that should be what
Right.
you should be having.
Yeah.
The stuff that you don't really care for, just because it's there, don't eat it.
Right.
You
Nothing
know,
wong with having a guilty pleasure.
Absolutely.
You have to.
And you know, but those are things, those are tricks that you learn along the way. And I think those are things that you have to take with you.
Yeah, or also if you know you're going to the party on Saturday night, try to, for the next 4 days, try to eat very
Right.
good. And
Right.
if you want, yeah, you can have, you know, maybe a few of those, you know,
Right.
those
Right.
guilty
That's-
pleasures per se. You
right,
know, if you
right.
knew, hey, if I know, hey, it's Monday, I know, okay, Saturday, I'm going to have, that's the day that I'm going to go
Right.
crazy,
Right.
so to speak. You go have fun, because you ultimately you still want to have fun in your life, and food is a big part of that.
Yeah.
It's not like a punishment. No, I mean, it's
Exactly.
actually a healthy
Exactly.
thing you're doing for yourself. It's a reward you're giving yourself.
Like my biggest downfall was ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
I love ice cream. I love it. And but I allow myself ice cream once a week, and I fill up that bowl because that's my once a week treat, and that's that's something for me.
Right.
Otherwise, I'd be eating it every night.
Right.
But so that's what I do, and I love it. And that's something I look forward to every week. So.
And there's a lot of information out there, but you just have to find what's right, and that's a lot of times, especially with that Facebook page, ask questions. There's a lot of misconceptions about nutrition, and a lot of people think, if you see the low, this only has 200 calories. Well, that's great.
It can be very deceptive because sometimes I think it says 200 or something calories, but it's per serving. And sometimes that container might have 2 or 3 servings, and you might eat the whole bag, and you're eating 3 times the amount of calories that you think you're eating.
And the other thing, too, is like a lot of times things will say 200 calories, but there's a lot of carbohydrates in those 200 calories. So there could be, a lot of sugar, not so much just straight carbohydrates.
Right.
Yeah.
And these are basically empty nutrients. There's no nutrients,
absolutely.
really.
And you really need to watch those because, if you're not burning that stuff off, you will get hungry again.
Right.
And usually you're hungrier more when it does wear off than you were from the beginning.
Yeah. Someone recently mentioned to me, your body can't have enough of what's empty, so it just keeps on. Like you can't have just one chip because there's no nutrients. Your body's looking for the nutrients, and you keep on eating more chips, but all you're eating is empty calories.
And the other thing too is I think that a lot of people tend to stay away from, and Sean can correct me if I'm wrong, is the good fats. You need good fat in your body. Your body needs good fats, and that could be yogurt, it could be avocados, certain types of nuts. Those are all good things that your body needs. Your body needs all 3 components: the carbs, the protein, and the fats. And you just need to choose the right ones for you.
Yeah, and sometimes what kind of goes along with the preparation.
Yeah.
If you're hungry and they said I could eat cashews or almonds. You can't have the whole box of them or the whole bag. You have to take a good portion. That'll be a snack. And that's a lot of times people are like, I know I can eat almonds and cashews, but you can't eat the whole the whole box. That'll be a little bit more than you're supposed to.
Right. Well, bringing it back to kind of the boot camp, tell us what are the plans for after the boot camp? How can people stay engaged and find activities and things that they could do to kind of keep going after the program is done on June 8th?
After the run and after the 6-week challenge is over, hopefully you found something in those 6 weeks that you love to do or that you really like to do, and maybe a few of your friends are doing it with you. So I would say if it's the yoga that you really enjoy, talk to the yoga instructor. See, I'm sure hopefully they'll have some flyers out at the facility to tell you where they do it and when they do it. You get friendly with the instructor, then you can really find out what they might not do it until September. You don't know, but find out where they do it, when they do it, and get involved and stay with it. And whether it's a Zumba class or the dancing schools. If the kids love the dancing, get them involved in dancing if that's what they want to do.
And the walking, I think if you're doing the urban trail walks or even the walks around the stadium, there has been some talk with some of the neighborhood groups that are being formed right now of creating neighborhood walking groups. And so that that's something too that could start up, keep you engaged. But I think if you really find something, just stay with it. And take that time out every day and allow yourself to take part in it.
And have one of your friends, really just ask one of your friends, if one of your friends going to that yoga class, hey, let's stick with this, let's keep it going. There's no reason we should stop. And that's key. Having someone, a buddy to go with you for a lot of people is a big, will really make them want to do it and continue on.
And there are a lot of options and activities here in Revere, as well as a lot of sponsors that have been helping kind of the mission and the program as well.
We couldn't do it with all the other fitness businesses. I mean, obviously we have Revere on the Move and Millions of Muscles, along with the mayor's office to coordinate this event, but you can't do it without Boston Fight Center, Revere Karate Academy, Sheila Reziano's Dance School, Studio Dance Complex, Patrice, who does the yoga on Monday nights. You can't, we have that Zumba class from Millions of Muscles.
And you guys also do some stuff on the beach as well. I saw some of the pictures on Facebook. You actually do activities out on the beachfront as well, which is I think is great.
Millions of Muscles boot camp. We do it on Revere Beach. We also do it at the VFW, but for the most part, we are on the beach, and that's going really well. It's a lot of fun. It's separate from the challenge,
Right.
But yeah, anyone's welcome to give us a call if they were
So
interested.
there are ways, there are things people
yeah.
can do to just stay engaged and just
Yeah.
keep going. It's not
So
just
all of these,
for these couple of weeks.
Yeah,
You know, it's there for the year round.
yeah, when you were at the, let's say if you go to Revere Karate Academy and you like that class, ask them when you're there.
Right.
Ask about, hey, how do I sign up? Ask about their membership options, and I'm sure they'll be happy to talk to you about it.
Right. Well, just to wrap things up, we have the event again on June 8th. The event starts at 9 o'clock at Wayland School. The 5K run. Before we part, any tips on how to get ready for the run?
Well, you can run or you can walk it.
Okay.
I think that's, we want to keep it focused so that anybody can do it. So if you're not a
Okay.
runner, do not be afraid to join in because you can walk it.
Okay.
And if you'd like to partake in the event, it's $15. There is a registration fee.
Right.
We're taking registrations online at northshoretiming.com or
Okay.
coolrunning.com, or they can actually sign up at the Revere Rec Center on 150 Beach Street all the way up until June 7th.
June 7th. Okay.
We will be taking race day applications that morning from
Okay.
7:30 to 8:30, but
Okay.
and the fee will be $20.
The $20.
Yep. The registration will close promptly at 8:30.
Okay.
We will be starting the run walk promptly at 9 o'clock. So
Okay,
we want to
good.
give ourselves that time.
Good.
So if you're interested in running, please
Right.
make sure that you sign up
Right.
soon.
Yeah. Get there early and get engaged.
You can get a nice race T-shirt.
Yep. The
It's
first
gonna be-
300 runners.
And there'll also be prizes as well.
Yes.
So
So there'll be a prize for the overall male and female finisher.
Okay.
And then there'll be prizes in the different age groups for male and female for second and third prize.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, what a great
Immediately
event.
following that, we have a health and business fair. So
Yeah.
we want it to be,
Oh, that's right.
stuff for the kids. We want it to be, it's a few hours. Be out there with the
Right.
community. It's gonna be a wonderful community event.
As well as get more information on how to
And
keep
other
going.
local businesses in the area will be there, showing their
We
services.
have a DJ there that morning.
Mm-hmm.
We have, we will have, like I said, earlier, we have play work
Yes.
coming.
Yeah.
We're going to have the Mad Dashes for the younger kids. Any child can do the road race if they want to run the 5K 3.1.
Okay.
We do have some younger children planning on running it. Or they can walk it with their families. But it's really just a community event, and we just want everybody to come out and take part of it. Even if it's just to come and just
Yeah.
kind of hang around and
Yeah.
take it all in, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Highly
Wonderful.
encouraged.
Really sounds like a great, fun event to get fit and kind of kick off the summer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but thank you so much, guys, for coming on.
Well, thanks
you
for having us.
having us.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure to meet you.
That's it.
Well, for Focus on Revere, I'm Sergio Leone, filling in for Ed DeVoe and Debbie Pesca. Take care.